Hello. How's everyone doing today? Okay. Give me 1 second. Trying to finagle something here. Here we go. Alright. So, finally, I was able to get into Final Fantasy for us to continue. Woot. Alright. So, I played some more from last time I left off. So, because it would include spoilers, I'm not going to say what the story was in case you're just now coming and viewing um, from or viewing now from when you saw it earlier last week. So, because of spoilers, I won't say what had happened. It's for you to figure out if you don't already know. Um, but follow along at your own uh, expense. All right. Eh. Should I do roulette or should I do story? Let's do story first. Okay, hold up. So I need to go up the stairs first, then come this way. What weapon do you have? Oh, Shiva bow. Up. Wait, what? Oh wait, where's Estinian? That's right. Forgot, I need him. So because I logged out, he went back to the beginning. Okay. Hmm. Let's try this again. Alright, heading to Magaduda, are you? In that case, please follow this hallway to my right and go through the door at the top of the stairs. You only emerge at the entrance to the airship landing where another sentry should be on hand to assist you. Incidentally, if you ascend the steps to either side of me, you'll find the workshops of Ruveida Fibers. Though you're free to observe the artisans, take care not to lose your way. You go up the stairs to the right, he said. Hmm. So just keep going, huh? and get the shard. Here for an airship, I'm afraid all flights have been suspended until further notice. So the state of alert is still in effect. Perhaps it's for the best. That aside, we're not here for an airship. We have business at Megaduta. Oh, in that case, permit me to direct you. From here, it's quite simple, really. Ascend these steps and then continue straight ahead and across the bridge. You cannot miss it. Ren. Oh wait, there's another one. Alright, got it. Now, time to go in and talk to everyone. Greetings and welcome to Megdata. May I inquire after your business? We are members of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, come at the invitation of His Excellency. Of course, we have been expecting you. I will show you into the audience chamber. If you would please follow me. I'll think about it.
Are we the last to arrive? I hope we've not kept you waiting.
Not at all. Your comrade is feeling better, I trust.
Much better, thank you. Harness remedies are certainly potent in more ways than one.
One becomes accustomed to the taste, although I hope you never have cause to do so. Pray, take your ease.
Full glad I am to see you all unharmed.
Valiant scions, for your heroism, you have my boundless gratitude. and set free its hapless captives. You cleanse their souls of its corrupting influence. No words of thanks will suffice. In place of platitudes, I offer a bounty of warding scales. Pray accept your due reward, along with the goodwill of Radzat-Han.
Alchemists throughout the land were put to work in the forging of your talismans. The finished ones have been collected, and now await you at the High Crucible of Alchemia. Present this letter when you are ready to take them into your possession.
We are humbled by your generosity. Know that the inventive wisdom of Radzat-Han will be vital in restoring serenity to our star.
Every single one of those scales came from you, didn't they? You must still be in such pain.
'Tis of no moment, a mere annoyance compared to the dreadful suffering inflicted upon this land and its people.
Albeit brief, my involvement in the Dragonsong War afforded me a glimpse of the myriad sorrows which consumed both dragon and man. Though you were half a world away, such tragedies as befell your kin must have affected you deeply. And yet, you chose to live among men.
In the age when that conflict first bloomed, my choice had already been made. In some distant place, man slew dragon, and dragon slaughtered man. Yet no hate could I muster for those smiling faces which did look to me for guidance. Not even my brother's righteous rage could rally me to his cause. I huddled here, secret and still, hoping against hope that which I had built would remain untouched by the chaos and carnage.
'Twould seem we share the same desire for peace, great Vritra. To that end, I wonder if we might trouble you with another question. The Telophoroi are intent on recreating the final days, an apocalyptic event which we know to predate the sundering of the star. As the longest lived among us, know you aught of this terrible cataclysm?
Nay, when war and strife drove my sire from his home, he crossed the great expanse with only our unhatched eggs as company. He alighted upon a shattered source, its 13 reflections long since scattered beyond the rift. Of events preceding his arrival, he knoweth naught, save that which Hydralin hath deigned to disclose.
I see. So again, 'tis the inscrutable Hydaelyn to whom you must look for answers.
Seek you to divine the will of this star? If so, I have a tale which may afford you some small comfort.
A story? What story shall this be?
'Tis a story from my youth, many, many years ago.
Answered.
To my sire, I once posed the question, of all the stars in the sky, why didst thou settle To which Midgardsummer did reply, "'Twas the last bastion of hope." He believed so long as Hydaelyn endured, so too might dragonkind. Solemn and portentous were his words. What deeper meaning they held, I could not, dared not pursue. 'Tis a stone I've left unturned ever since. Yet take you solace in the knowledge that whatsoever Hydaelyn does strive towards, 'tis an ideal which hath earned my sire's conviction.
Thank you, Vritra. You've given us warm reassurance in a world gripped by cold uncertainty.
While I'm sure we all have a great many questions, I think it's time we collect the talismans and be on our way. Our fight against the Telophoroi is far from finished.
Yes.
We must take our leave, but please do inform us if we can provide any further assistance.
And why do I stand there?
Prithee, a moment. There is one whom my sire hath judged worthy of honor and respect. The one known to men as Eorzea's champion. This hero of renown and rumor, 'tis thee. I knew it to be so. From man and dragon alike have I learned of thine exploits. "'Twas a revelation most pleasing that thou, a child of man, had gained Midgardsummer's trust. But alongside mine elation runneth a rivulet of dread. For upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, weal enmeshed with woe. Amidst this tangled knot thou shalt know no rest. 'Tis an endless confluence of forces, a struggle without surcease. More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence.
Oh, where's the font?
Take heart and protect them well. They will be your strength and your salvation. The hope thou wilt need come the end. Even cowering behind my curtain, I know the suffering of the powerful. I have watched my siblings driven mad by loss. Thus do I exhort thee to spare no effort to keep thy loved ones safe.
Apologies. We hadn't meant to interrupt.
It's just that we do have a history of suddenly collapsing, and when you didn't follow us out...
'Tis I who must apologize. I have detained your champion overlong with idle chatter. Go. At war's end, I pray I welcome thee back into my hall, where together with thy joyful comrades, you may toast your triumph.
I would say. Alright. So what were you and Veetra talking about? Nothing? Very well, if you say so. The others have gone ahead to the High Crucible. Let's catch up to them. The attendant was kind enough to give me directions to the High Crucible. First, let us return to the Mulberry Orchard. Run, 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 run. When's it going to stop raining? From here, we're supposed to follow the path left and past the mulberries. The street turns into the door straight ahead, then descend the steps. I thought the Crystarium was confusing, but it doesn't compare to Reset Han. The architecture and decorations make it even harder to get your bearings. Anyway, let's see where this door takes us. Going down the stairs. Down the stairs. Downstairs. And here is the Aetheryte Plaza. So far so good, and there isn't much further to go. From here, we just need to cross to the other side of the hall, then pass through the larger two doorways. The High Crucible lies beyond. I suspect the others have already collected the warding scales. Come, let us join them. Still can't. Okay then. Oh yeah, I got mail. And if I'm not mistaken... Haha. There it is. Oh yeah, I also want to look at this. Okay, that's cool. Oh. Eh. Everything here isn't for. Oh. You switch to summoner. Oh, that's a huge change. Maiming. $506 to a $509. It's gotta be that for sure. The necklace and the ring. We're last, of course, but at least we found the place.
These are the talismans we were promised.
Yes, and I made a quick count. There are far more than we could have hoped for. Enough to outfit an entire company of soldiers, in fact. Considering the involved process, that they were able to manufacture so many in such a short span of time is nothing short of a miracle.
Once we have distributed them to our allies in Eorzea and the Far East, we'll have a fighting chance to bring down the other spires, just as we did with the Tower of Zot.
Or we could use them to invade Garlemald proper, and strike directly at the Telophoroi's base of operations. Of course, we would need to consult with various Alliance leaders before such a drastic measure could even be contemplated. To which end, I could set out forthwith and present the idea to each of our allies in person.
Pray allow me to undertake some few of those journeys. I find myself restless and in need of purposeful duties.
I can head eastward. Bosnia and Dalmasca are just a short hop from here. And Doma's shinobi network should come in handy.
Hey Trent, what's up? Thanks for the like. How you doing today?
Meanwhile, I think it best that you and the others take the talismans back to the Baldessian Annex. We must keep them safe and secure until we've decided upon a course of action.
Please, I must speak with you.
Nidana, you're awake.
Yes. When I spoke with the carer at my bedside, she told me that one of the scions, a young woman, had cleansed me of the tower's corruption. It seems I'd been asleep ever since the treatment. But when I awoke and learned you were all still here, I knew I had to come.
As you said, Nidana was captured only recently. Such a brief exposure is swiftly cured, so I tended to her before we gathered at Megaduta.
And I am truly grateful that you did. I cannot thank you enough. All of you, for everything you've done. Destroying the tower, rescuing our people. You've saved Thavnair from an awful fate.
Yet who hath truly saved whom? Due in no small part to thine inspirational courage, the alchemists were successful in reproducing warding scales of proven efficacy. Replications of thy work now stand ready to travel across the seas, unto the hands of those who might wield them against this rising evil.
The talisman? Is this true?
Hey Riri, what's up? How you doing? Thanks for the like.
Oh, I was so groggy from sleep. I didn't even think to ask. Oh, our great work sent across the seas. It was worth it. Oh, it was all worth it. Look at that.
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Completely changed. What do you have there? How unusual. I wonder if the effect is a reaction to Akasha.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that term.
Akasha? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Harnish alchemical theory. Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feelings.
You imply that it is distinct from ether?
Foreign scholars often conflate the two, but we see them as separate concepts. Ether is an energy which permeates the land. It exists within animals, objects, even the air we breathe, affecting all through which it flows. Akasha, on the other hand, exists in a domain beyond our reach, a gift bestowed from on high or torn from the heavens in some traditions. Akasha can neither be created nor destroyed. It is beyond our power to purposefully alter or manipulate. The only thing observed to influence it is an abundance of, I want to say, spiritual emotion. As a veteran of the battlefield, surely you've experienced moments of desperation or exaltation when you've transcended the usual limits of your capabilities. That is a manifestation of Akasha, the invisible essence harnessed by heart, mind, and unyielding spirit.
I really must hear more about this theory. Our disciplines are based entirely upon the idea that ether is the fundamental form of all energy.
I'm glad my haphazard explanation has piqued your interest. But even for us, Akasha is a somewhat abstract field of study. A lack of practical application lends itself poorly to formalized research. Which is why my analysis of your flower can amount to little more than idle speculation. I am sorry.
Nonsense! You have nothing to be sorry for. Your insight is much appreciated.
Shall we depart for Sharlayan then? I will see to it that the talismans arrive at the Annex.
And we will be in touch once our talks are concluded. I suggest you rest while you can. From here onward, sleep is bound to be in short supply.
Baldesion Annex. Actually, I'm gonna go here first. Pull out the mount, and then go back. Hey Scott, what's up? Thanks for the like. Hope you had a good weekend. Cannabis. It's sort of like the one I had, but then I upgraded it. Cryo. It's good to be back in with the fruit of our labor safely in storage. For now, we have but to wait for the others to return from their respective meetings to Alliance leaders. As Thinker suggests, you should get some rest in the meantime. Excuse me. Check your sheets, pump your pillow. After all, there's nothing like collapsing in a nice clean bed after completing a major milestone. But be it penning a thesis or defeating deiform entities. Would you like to take a look at your new and improved lodgings now? Yes. I got bread. Archon loaf. Cutscene. And betcha Hydaelyn will be coming right out.
Take heart and protect them well.
Never mind.
Good, you're here. You haven't eaten yet, have you? We've bought quite a spread if you're interested. Only the finest dining from the last stand.
Oh, that's cute.
Lest you wonder, we invited Estinian as well. But he refused with a rather grim-faced, "No, thank you." I suspect Sharlayan cuisine is not to his liking.
Oh, I don't know about that. Perhaps our lone wolf just needed some time apart.
What? To perfect his brooding stare? Next time, I'll drag him out by the ear, sit him down in front of a Sharlayan feast, and see that he eats every last bite.
An excellent idea. Of all people, warriors must take proper meals and rest if they are to maintain a healthy constitution.
Poor Estinian, beset on all sides.
Speaking of one's physical condition, Mistress Quile, I hear you recently played literal host to Heidelin herself.
And what an experience that was. Tiring, yes, but no lasting harm done. If anything, I should have liked to speak with her longer. I've not felt a hint of her presence since.
Heidelin instructed you to carry that flower, yes? Twill be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. And then something about seeking joy in darkness, was it? Come to think of it, isn't that what happened with Nidana back in Radzat Han?
The flower did seem to radiate a joyful glow, as if reflecting the elation we all felt. The relief of a people with renewed hope.
Indeed, and in turn I felt buoyed by that radiance. 'Twas akin to spotting a beacon, and knowing we were on the right path. I know we've not yet triumphed over the Telophoroi, or learned the full breadth of the Forum's plans. But even within the midst of our struggles, we find small moments of joy to sustain us. Rare and hard-won perhaps, but it is this pursuit of happiness that gives us the strength to carry on day after day. Hey, that's mine.
To the swift the spoils. Though I recall that levitation spell of yours was quick enough.
Only barely. And even at my best, I'm still too slow to wield it effectively in battle. Mayhap I simply require more practice with this new magic.
You unearthed it from the depths of Numenon, I presume?
Aye, and from a veritable mountain of arcane tomes at that. 'Twas necessary to facilitate my solitary explorations.
Or, to put it simply, you used it to sneak around the Forbidden Archives.
Yes, well, after a fashion. They're tall, you see. The shelves, they're too tall for me. And I could hardly move the library's platforms without attracting attention now, could I?
Oh!
I'm not that ambitious. But 'tis pleasant to idle away the hours every once in a while.
That was cute. Oh no. You need just to die. No one likes you.
Enjoying the bracing cold, I see. Do you not own a warm coat or a cloak? Something in fur? Or fashioned from the skins of your enemies? Or... well, never mind that. I come to you once more as the bearer of bad news. Our tower in Thavnir has been toppled, and I need not tell you by whom. Given how many we have at our disposal, the loss of a single spire is hardly fatal to our plans. It does, however, slow the rate at which we siphon the ether. If they continue to preoccupy themselves with the towers, then all will be well. But should our foe prove bold enough to strike at us here, then the timing becomes questionable. Our foe is bold enough. Of that, I can assure you. Yes, very well then. I suppose I must prepare a proper welcome. Honestly, talk of your nemesis is the only thing you seem to enjoy. Does nothing else spark your interest? No. All else is equal. Equally tedious, equally disappointing. The world is a tepid bog into which we sink, too weak to thrash as the mud clings to our eyes and fills our throats till we blissfully choke. But then came the light, blinding and pure and hot, so very hot. Enough to set my soul aflame. I basked in the afterglow until the void yawned once more. And then I knew the muck would never claim me again. There was naught for me ahead, so I drew the curtain on all that had come before. Burn. Let the whole star burn. I will have my contest. I will reclaim my moment. How wonderful that the emptiness of death has not dissuaded you from committing your life to its pursuit once more. I don't know whether to envy you or pity you. You question my disinterest, but what of yours? Despite your noisome antics, I sense you take little pleasure in this endeavor. Mercy, my lord. Such pointed barbs from one who barely acknowledges my existence. Nevertheless, you are mistaken, for I do find this part somewhat enjoyable. You see, when I was mortal, I would always have the same dream. It was a fragmented thing, disjointed, all the faces incomplete. The setting, too, was unknown to me, so I thought it simply a fantasy of my sleeping mind. Until one day, I realized it was showing me the truth. Much as your dream of the final days enlightened you. And soon, very soon, the rest of the world will see the truth of my dream, too. Yes, I think that is something we can both enjoy.
makes me mad. Ah, level 82. That's not fair. Oh well, looks like I gotta do a dungeon. Let's do this one. If I can get some good gear. Tiamat stuff. Thinks you can't color it. Oh, you can. Didn't you come out with a better purple? Eternal Dark. Till they just rush through. Oh, excuse me. Come on, dungeon. I can do that. So I'm going to be doing this dungeon a few times, which is fine. That is ready. Oh well. Hey Chad, what's up? How are you doing today? Nice. Yeah, I've been doing Reaper here. Excuse me, Reaper here and there. Oh, that's gonna hurt. I'm not quite in a hurry. I would like to get it done before they come out with another patch. It'd just be a plus. Oof. Awesome. Offending and a casting. Excuse me. No, the casting. I already got that. Slaying. Alright. Oh yeah. That was purple. Oh, there you are. Feeling refreshed, I hope? I was about to make my way to the studio as it happens. I wanted to try and speak with Skylark Monteshane and thank him for coming to our rescue in the Rostra. As it turns out, he'd come here to see us following the hearing, only to find that we'd already departed for Thavnir. Knowing him, he was probably hoping to chew the cud from his former students. Since we're still waiting for Estelle and the others, I thought now the perfect time to pay him a visit. Care to join me? Then it's settled. The twins will be coming too. Assuming Alphino can tear himself away from his new toys. Excuse me. I'll let you rally the troops when I go on ahead to Phenomenon. Considering my recent impropriety, perhaps I should avoid showing my face from around the studio for a time. That might be for the best. If the others should return, tell them we will not be long. Heading out for a stroll? The Skylark himself was here. In that case, what are we waiting for? I too am eager to see him, though I somewhat dread the thought of visiting the studio. I dare say our notoriety precedes us. Alphino, of all people worrying over his reputation, and at our alma mater, no less. Will wonders never cease. You'll understand soon enough. Off we go. Here it is, Phenomenon. While most of the space is taken up by the expensive auditoriums, it also houses numerous laboratories, testing grounds for experimental magics, and a host of administrative offices, and so forth. As the center of what would later become the studium, it was established to promote the study of etherological phenomena, hence the name. Though the ether being a fundamental aspect of nature, its scope expanded to include every conceivable facet of life and even the universe itself. And then, in the 432nd year of the 6th astral era, phenomenon was decreed complete, and the studium officially opened as a place of learning. Are we not ready? All right, let's do this again. Alright, that was it. That was Alphino Levalier, wasn't it? The Alphino Levalier. And he's with his sister, Master Baldassian's granddaughter. This can only mean one thing. Event of epic shattering proportions is fast approaching. Spread the word. Oh, sorry. You said you were looking for the scholar. Yes, knowing him, he could be anywhere. But Miss Aliapo should have a better idea. You lost? Wandering off the street, perhaps. Wait, don't tell me. You're a training gleaner fresh off the guild ship. I'm right, aren't I? No. How silly of me. The orientation is in order. Ahem. Allow me to bid you a warm welcome to Searcher's Meet. Let me start with a question. What is the most important thing you'll find in the studium? That's right, books. And what's the second most important? Why, that's simple. Everything else. That's what we deal here in Searcher's Meet. Whenever the students or tutors find themselves in need of equipment or materials, they come to us. If we don't have it in our stores, we send the gleaners out to find it. Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the requests we get. Eye of Paisa this, tongue of giant toad that. It's enough to make your hair stand on end, which is possibly what some of our students are trying to accomplish. This being a school of magic and all. As our newest gleaner, you'll have to have your work cut out for you, but I think you'll find it quite rewarding. So what you're telling me is you're not a gleaner? Yes, that's exactly what you said, isn't it? And you're looking for a scholar? I'm afraid we don't have any of those in stock, but oh, you mean him. He was here, but now he's not. I did speak with him shortly before you arrived, though. He said he was on his way to Maker's Meet. Go back the way you came in, and you'll see it on the opposite side of the entrance. It's a laboratory of sorts, home to many rare and expensive curios, not to mention alarmingly frequent accidents. If you lose your way, just follow the blood-curdling screams. In the time it's taken me to tell you all this, Scholar, he's probably already left. Best of luck finding him. I have a feeling you'll need it. My shoes. Level-headed student. Yes, the scholar was here a short while ago. He offered me advice on my current research project. Though we spoke at length, I don't recall him mentioning where he was planning to go next. When we parted ways, he went down the corridor, perhaps to one of the auditoriums.
Remember you?
I
pray we have not called you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Well, I could hardly let that inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the Annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louisoix in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you. I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the Forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my own eye. You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Matoya's prize student. Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy. Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried. Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic. As such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
How is that even possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat. We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology. The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into three forms. Two are of the incorporeal sort, the soul and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third? Yes, very good. This is the form with which the layman is most familiar. Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked. Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it. What would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
It would blot out everything that was written.
Precisely. We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
The seventh Umbral Calamity. The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act. The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Sharlayan prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation. Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace?
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty. Barring that, we must wait until we return to the Ethereal Sea. For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean. And our memories drift apart and dissolve, rather defeating the purpose, I suppose. But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
What happens after that?
We are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form. Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable. Well, I think that's enough education for today, now that I've given you some food for thought. Or rather, an entire banquet. I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you. I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldesion, This privilege is extended to you as well, my friend. Oh, and I suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Sharlayan, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
It's given me much to mull over. I feel as though we are one step closer to understanding the form's true motives, the mysteries of life itself, for good measure. It's funny, I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude only to leave more indebted than before. I have a feeling his friendship and support will be a great boon to us in days to come. And on that note, let's head back to the annex. Perhaps on the way you could better acquaint yourself with Ki Aliapo, as the scholar suggested, while I share our findings with Raha. Let's have a little Handerland. I'll do that later. Lance Ring of Healing. Valerian. Um, excuse me. Okay. So I still got that ring I gotta get rid of. keep going with Sturry. Ah, welcome back. From what I hear, right, while you were away, I received word from our fellow Scions. As expected, news of the warding scales was met with much joy. Preparations are now underway to bring the leadership of the Grand Company of Eorzea, and the Eastern Alliance together to determine a way forward. Our friends have asked that we bring the scales in our possessions to Limsa Lominsa. So the time has come for us to go on the offensive? It's too early to say for certain, but that does seem to be the way the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan, but let us see what awaits us in Vilbrand. Let's start by getting the scales out of storage. Give me a hand, would you, Astidian? Phew, I didn't realize these crates were so heavy. I shouldn't complain though. Vritra and the alchemists of the great work put their heart and soul into each and every one of these scales, so you must treat them with the most care. Are you not coming with us? As much as I would like to escape the forum's watchful gaze, I have little choice but to stay behind. We're already on thin ice, and if I'm in my capacity as our official representative, we're found to be consorting with foreign powers, well, you can imagine how that would go. I shall remain here and do my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers as I await word from Master Matoya and our other allies. With luck, we'll soon have good news of our own to share. The tide is about to turn. I can feel it. To Limsa Lominsa. Alright. I went the wrong way. Back in here. My apologies for calling you far away, or for calling you away from Charlene, at such short notice. On the contrary, we are honored and grateful and pleasantly surprised to be joined by such esteemed company. It was only right that this discussion be conducted in person. We are locked in a war of attrition. Our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers, and it's only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. Victory will only be claimed through decisive action, and we have taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion. It is reassuring to learn we are all in accord. But might I ask what your plan entails? It hinges entirely on the warding scales and our ability to utilize its potential to the fullest. During your time in Charlene, the allied nations have been engaged on separate fronts with no end in sight. To make matters worse, a surge in abductions of kobolds, Sagan, Ixal, and Ananta have given rise to its increasing numbers of primals as well. That your triumph in Razat Han has given us cause to hope once more. Time has come to free ourselves of this menace. And it's you, the Sign of Seventh Dawn, who have shown us the way. While the bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Telophoroi at bay, we will dispatch our finest to strike at the enemy's heart, Garlemald. These brave few will be the Ilsabard contingent. To think such progress has been made in so short a span. Hey Wayne, what's up? Good evening. Its objectives are twofold. The first is to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and civilians have been tempered, robbed of their free will. They serve the Telophoroi's every whim without question. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering, not for strategic or political gain, but because it's the right thing to do. I do not ask what we set aside, the decades of conflict and conquest, that we simply choose to forgive and forget. I ask only that in choosing to remember, we do not also forsake our compassion and morality, for without that, there can be no reconciliation, only death without end. Aye, on that we can all agree. Our second objective is the colossal tower that Thancred and Urianger observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there's reason to believe the smaller spires are merely a precursor of what's yet to come. Until the Tower of Zot was toppled, we'd failed to make any headway, though the same could be said of the Telophoroi. They're certainly in no rush to press further into our lands. I'd wager the Spire's primary purpose is to divide and keep us occupied, while they work towards our annihilation. This would appear to be substantiated by Ystola's analysis of the tower's influence on ethereal currents. Based on our observations inside the Tower of Zot, the spires siphon ether from the land, consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw forth far more than is required for this task alone. The excess of ether remains unaccounted for, but we can be sure it is not being harnessed for our benefit. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if it was being redirected to the larger spire in the capital. There's a logic in that. Regardless, once we have uncovered the truth, we'll bring their schemes crashing down along with their infernal towers. That's all well and good. But what would you have us do? I assume it's more than handing over the scales and being on our way. We want you and your scales to join the Ilsabard contingent. Consider it an official request from both the Grand Company of Eorzea and Eastern Alliance. Do you accept? Yes. Perhaps you should be the one to answer that. Excuse me. For honor and glory. Couldn't have put it better myself. Ystola, Thancred, and Urianger have already pledged their support and are on the way to meet the rest of the contingent. They were positive you would come to the same decision as they did. Luckily, for all involved, the prediction was correct. Once you have delivered the warding scales to Ala Mhigo, the contingent will embark on its journey to Ilsabard. Raubahn and Lord Aymeric are overseeing preparations, so I suggest you make yourself known upon arrival. Pack warm clothing, furs, and the like. Without it, the cold will do you in before the Telophoroi so much as draw steel. As for us, we'll keep the enemy busy while you're gone. they're not the only ones who can create a diversion. Now go. Safe in the knowledge Eorzea. Safe in the knowledge Eorzea will be as you left it, or better, upon your return. Time to test out the flying on this. I don't think the wings are big enough for this. Ooh. Hmm. Okay, that one went a little. I think I like the summoner now. Didn't like it before. I'm gonna finish this dungeon and get out of here. That looks awesome. I'm probably not going to get it. Nope, I didn't. Alright. Ah, the Wanderers return. You've been busy bringing down a tower and producing the keys to destroying the rest of them. You should be proud. Those warding skills of yours are what's made this whole venture possible. Will you and Lord Aymeric be leading the contingent? Regrettably, no. Our role is to organize the various delegations into a cohesive unit. Once we have seen you all off, it's back to our respective posts. We dare not neglect our duties for too long, lest our defensive efforts fall into disarray. And just between us, there is a fair amount of opposition to the formation of the Ilsabar contingent. The very suggestion that we send out some of our finest troops behind the enemy lines to render aid unto the Garleans has made me rather unpopular in certain quarters. Can't please them all. Sadly not, though I do my best. Truth be told, I'd rather much be at your side, charging into the fray. Alas, I've battles of my own to fight, where words may serve me better than my blade. I hate to say it, but Lord Aymeric struggles mirror my own. For the time being, the best we can offer you is the peace of mind from knowing Eorzea is in safe hands. As you fight the good fight in Isambard, I and the other commanders will do what we can to convince the naysayers that our cause is just. Thank you, both of you. We meet again. Hey, it's Gaius. Words of your exploits travel quickly from what I gather. The protective talismans you obtained led to the information of this expeditionary force. My contribution on this occasion is but a minor one, that being the information I have shared with Maxima. For the sake of the people of Garlemald, may the fates be on your side. So you're not coming with us? Strange, I thought you'd have a stake in this. I do. Telophoroi had laid waste to my homeland and enslaved my people. But though every mode of my being cries for vengeance, I cannot be the one to deliver it. My presence alone would place the entire mission in jeopardy. I stand accused of murdering Emperor Varys and plunging Garlemald into chaos. Were I to travel with the Ilsapar contingent, it would give my countrymen ample cause to question our motives. Conversely, those who believe me innocent may instead celebrate the return of a former legatus and attempt to raise me to a position of leadership, further destabilizing the region and complicating the contingent's mission. Whether I am branded a villain or hailed as a hero, I would only hinder your efforts, or deliver your people from harm in your stead. For what it is worth, you have my gratitude. You and your comrades have the strength and courage to deliver my countrymen. I am certain of it. In light of Gaius' rather unique circumstances, I instead will assume the role of your guide. Though I may have defected for political reasons, my love for Garlemald endures. I would stop at nothing to protect her and her people. Well said. Might I ask you to escort our friends inside? Might even bump into an old acquaintance or two, and if I don't see you again ere you depart, may the Fury guide and protect you, all of you. All right. True barding of light. Suffolk barding. Hujimbo. Huh. Alright. Now I'm at a good stopping point. Let me switch back to stage before I forget to do that. Oh wait. Alright, so I want to bid you all a good night. I'm getting off, I'm tired. It's time for bed. Well, not quite, but almost time for bed. I will probably be on throughout the week, except for Wednesday. Wednesday I will not be here, but at least tomorrow, Tuesday, Thursday, and probably Friday. Just so I can be here, because next weekend I will not be on at all. Saturday or Sunday I won't get on. So you guys have an idea of how long it will be that I'll be on. I'm just going to be working here on the main story quest. I'll also be playing with on my free time that I have that I'm not going to be streaming, just to advance some. Try to get through the story, because I hear it's supposed to be a longer story, with it being the end of the Zodiark and Hydaelyn arc. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah. Well, you all have a great rest of your night, and I will smell you later.